Coming up on 5 Minute News. ISIS bomb kills 46 people inside Afghan mosque. Joe Biden becomes first president to mark Indigenous Peoples Day. And companies in California can no longer silence workers in harassment cases. It's Saturday, October 9. I'm Anthony Davis. An Islamic State suicide bomber struck at a mosque packed with Shiite Muslim worshippers in northern Afghanistan on Friday, killing at least 46 people and wounding dozens in the latest security challenge to the Taliban as they transition from insurgency to governance. In its claim of responsibility, the region's IS affiliate identified the bomber as a Uyghur Muslim, saying the attack targeted both Shiites and the Taliban for their purported willingness to expel Uyghurs to meet demands from China. The blast tore through a crowded mosque in the city of Kunduz during Friday noon prayers, the highlight of the Muslim religious week. It was the latest in a series of IS bombings and shootings that have targeted Afghanistan's new Taliban rulers, as well as religious institutions and minority Shiites since US and NATO troops left in August. The militants, once confined to the east, have penetrated the capital of Kabul and other provinces with new attacks. This comes at a critical moment as the Taliban attempt to consolidate power and transform their guerrilla fighters into a structured police and security force. But while the group attempts to project an air of authority through reports of raids and arrests of IS members, it remains unclear if it has the capability to protect soft targets, including religious institutions. President Joe Biden on Friday issued the first ever presidential proclamation of Indigenous Peoples Day, lending the most significant boost yet to efforts to refocus the federal holiday celebrating Christopher Columbus towards an appreciation of native peoples. The day will be observed on October 11, along with Columbus Day, which is established by Congress. While Native Americans have campaigned for years for local and national days in recognition of the country's indigenous peoples, Biden's announcement appeared to catch many by surprise. In a separate proclamation on Columbus Day, Biden praised the role of Italian Americans in U.S. society, but also referenced the violence and harm Columbus and other explorers of the age brought about on the Americas. Making landfall in what is now the Bahamas on October 12, 1492, Columbus, an Italian, was the first of a wave of European explorers who decimated native populations in the Americas in quests for gold and other wealth, including people to enslave. Biden's acknowledgement of the suffering of Native Americans also marked a break from former President Trump's ardent defense of intrepid heroes like Columbus in his 2020 proclamation of the holiday. Meanwhile, Joe Biden has also restored environmental protections to 3 national monuments and their vast expanse of vital ecosystems and sacred indigenous spaces, reversing cuts made by Donald Trump. In an important victory for Silicon Valley activists and California workers, the governor has signed a law making it illegal for companies to bar employees from speaking out about harassment and discrimination. The new law is the result of hard-fought advocacy work by those in the tech industry who've long spoken out against the restrictive confidentiality arrangements known as non-disclosure agreements or NDAs, which are intended to protect industry secrets but have also created a culture of silence around wrongdoing. NDAs often keep incidents of harassment and discrimination under wraps, forcing employees to keep quiet or face legal action and fines. They became a point of debate after the Me Too movement, when it was revealed that Harvey Weinstein used such contracts to keep his victims from speaking out. The law was sponsored by California Senator Connie Laver and will expand protections against secret workplace settlements. It will also prohibit the use of confidentiality agreements for workers leaving a company. Although the bill was spearheaded and supported by tech workers, it will apply to all California industries, and larger firms based in the state will also need to comply. The Silenced No More Act builds on an existing law passed in the wake of the Me Too movement, which banned the use of confidentiality agreements in cases of sexual harassment, to include other kinds of discrimination, such as pay discrimination or bias based on race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, age, disability, or religion. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.